Undroppables Playbook, a football podcast. With your hosts, Ashley and Michael, please sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Undroppables Playbook, a football podcast presented by the Undroppables. I am your host, Ashley. This is my lovely co-host, Michael Duncan. How are you tonight?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. We're back from our little summer break. Back and ready to talk football. Well, today, football-ish today. It's all related to football.
It's all still football.
It's still football.
Just
we were arguing about haircuts before this, so I'd love to know everyone's input. Is it easier to recognize when a girl has a haircut or when a boy has a haircut? Because we're on two different sides of this argument.
And I feel like we're going to get very similar responses based on other people's genders as well, if I had to take a guess.
That's fair.
And I think they can probably guess what our sides are. So
yeah. Well, I got a haircut.
So did I.
This conversation came up.
So did I, and you didn't notice mine either. So
I didn't notice yours.
Exactly.
Because I think men's haircuts are so hard to notice.
And yet, weirdly enough, I walk into work, every single person commented on my haircut because, quote, I looked very disheveled prior to my haircut.
Did you report that to HR? They're being mean to you?
They're mean to me every single day. And I have told HR, and it is a lovely woman named Michelle, and she just says there's no proof.
Oh, good.
So
good job, Michelle.
Yeah. Great job.
Yep. All right. Well, today, the basis of this episode is we're going to rank things. We're going to put them in order, put them in a list. All things related to football. I won't even give you the rest. We're just going to start out hot with something that was recommended by one of our Undroppables teammates, ranking NFL mascots. But here's the thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Here's the thing. With our rankings, Duncan and I will be drafting, basically. So we will go back and forth on selecting our favorite mascots.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will. So that's
not our favorite, but the best.
But the best.
This is not subjective; it's objective.
Yes, and wait, yeah.
I know what I said.
Oh, you had that.
I know
backwards.
What I said. No, I don't have it backwards.
Okay.
I don't have it backwards. These are objective rankings because they're the best, not our favorites.
Well, they're subjective because it is our favorites.
No, but we agreed that we're drafting the best, not our favorites. If we were drafting our favorites, my list would be different. We're drafting the best.
Okay, fair.
It's scientific, Ashley.
Okay.
Why else would we be doing this?
I don't know. For fun.
That's loser talk right there.
Okay. So this will be mascots is our first segment. We will have 3 of these. But we're starting off with mascots, and I think you said I have the first pick, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going with the Tennessee Titans mascot, T-Rack. I swear to God, I love that guy. I love that his little raccoon eyes look like sunglasses. It's pretty sick. The fact that it's like Titans, the Tennessee state animal is a raccoon, but like if you were just at a Titans game, you wouldn't fully know that. I like that it still relates to the Tennessee history, and he looks pretty dope. He looks cool. He looks sick, and I would love to have him on my sidelines.
I mean, yeah, like it's a fine pick. I had him on my list because we're gonna go 5 rounds. We're just gonna get a team of 5 mascots. He was on my list, but I did not have him top. I did not see him going with the top pick overall.
I love T-Rack.
I think he's fine. I think it's a great name. I think he's good. I think a raccoon is unhinged.
Yes.
I think I look for unhingedness in mascots. C Gritty, Philadelphia Flyers mascot. Is the definition of unhinged. Did you really think we'd go through a mascot ranking without me bringing up at least one of our
Absolutely not.
mascots?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, but that leaves me with I'm going to get my number 1 overall. And I'm going to take Blue from the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
He has like things that come out of his noses.
Yeah, he's wacky.
That's unhinged. He's not really. You and I were arguing about this earlier. He's not really a horse.
an anthropomorphic horse,
Yeah.
technically.
Which basically means he's not a horse, but he kind of resembles one, sort of.
Yeah.
Again, what I look for in a mascot, unhinged, doesn't really make sense. Kind of just all over the place. And when you look at him, you're a little confused. The Philly Fanatic, gritty. I think they're some of the best mascots in sports. And I think the NFL, who has a much lower standard when it comes to mascots compared to some of the other major sports, I think blue is up there in that category when it comes to like, what the hell am I looking at? And that's exactly what I want most of the time in a mascot. But yeah, it's a simple name, simple fella. He does some weird crap. So yeah, I'm going with blue, and I'm very happy to get my first overall.
I dig it. He kind of has a similar body shape to Gritty too, to be honest.
Yeah, and the Fanatic, it's the belly.
Yeah,
it's the belly. It's they have a fat belly that they're able to like roll.
Yeah,
so they can do those. If you're from Philly, you know what I'm doing, even if you're only listening. And
do it again.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do it again. But it's hard to show on this, but like, you know what I'm doing. You've seen the Fanatic do it. You've seen Gritty do it. Blue does it a little bit. So yeah, I'm all about blue. He was actually, like, when we decided to do this, he was the first one that came to mind. I couldn't name half the mascots in the NFL, but the fact that he was first in my mind solidified it for me. So
I'm also gonna say the whole conversation about anthropomorphic horse came up because of someone who's not on my list, which would be the Broncos horse, because he scares me because I shouldn't be seeing a horse on two legs, which is how the whole conversation of anthropomorphic horse came about. And we said blue, like, technically doesn't fit in that category because he doesn't scare me, even though he's a horse on two legs, technically. Fun.
That part of the conversation was mostly Ashley. I want to be clear about that.
Okay. Next, I am going for... I'm trying to decide if I'm still going to get my other one down the line.
I know. You got to play the...
I know. I got to play the draft game. All right, fine. I'm going to go with Captain Fear from the Buccaneers.
Oh, my God. Not even on my list.
Genuinely. No, I want to have a drink with the dude. Yes, absolutely want to have a drink with the dude. Gives me the complete opposite vibes of my least favorite mascot in the NFL, which is Sourdough Sam,
yeah.
Who definitely commits crimes that would put him on Law and Order SVU and also like tax fraud too. Complete opposite vibes. I want to chill with the guy. I would love to go on his pirate ship. And he's a little bit of a weird maniac. I'm going with it.
I think it's a horrible pick. I think you're just blowing it right now.
I told you and I were gonna have very different lists of this.
I'm just like,
we said this for this category.
How can you take a humanoid mascot this early? He's just a pirate.
Love him. I have plenty of other humanoids that'll still be there.
But like,
that's me.
He wasn't even on my list, to be clear. You could have taken him as your last pick. You would have been fine. This is insane.
Don't care.
Yeah, I know you don't. Wow. I wish I had more to say about that, but he's not.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be doing myself justice if I didn't take Swoop here, so I'm gonna take Swoop. He doesn't really fit my previous definitions of what I look for in a mascot, but to be honest, I don't really think anyone really reaches that level that Blue does in the NFL. This is definitely propped up by the fact that I love the Eagles, but I also just think Swoop is a good mascot. Great name. And there's some other really good names on this list. But he's got a great name. I have one of my best friends' name is Swoop, so that helps. Yeah. So I know.
And they also have the real eagle, like a live eagle that they named Swoop.
You might be thinking of the Seahawks. Oh no, that's not a mascot. That's like from a zoo or something.
But it does have the same name, right?
I think, yeah. So I guess
you said, "Look, it's Swoop," and neither your friend nor the mascot were there.
That is true. Yeah. No, that is accurate. That's fair. No, but I think Swoop's just an all-around is a good mascot, great mascot. He's nothing crazy, but I think he's the perfect level of like a little intimidating. He's not too humanoid, which I think is important. It's weird to see an eagle like that, which I think is the proper amount of weird. It's not like a horse where it's like it's 4 legs but 2 legs. It's just like it's a bird man, and it's just like Birdman is like a solid I dig it. And I think he's the best of the bird mascots. And I think that's an important category to be at the top of. So I'm taking Swoop. It's a homer pick, and I don't care. So
Okay. I am going to go with a different bird mascot, which you didn't like when we were just chatting it up earlier. I'm going with Poe. A lot of the reason because I think the name is absolutely epic. I think it's a great way to reference history. But also he went so hard that he tore his ACL once and had to get put on IR. That's wild. He's going on my list.
I will say that I think the best part of that, all right, he has a pretty cool looking face overall.
He does, dude, and his beak is huge.
His beak is huge, which
huge.
It's a little more cartoony than I think.
I do wish, yes, I do wish he had a little bit more detail, like some shading on the wings or something. But nonetheless,
I do think it's really funny that they replaced him with Edgar and Allen.
Yes.
When Poe got injured, like that is funny.
Yes.
That is top tier. Just in terms of,
they fully played into it. The coach was like, yeah, like he's healing, like he's on IR, all of this stuff. Like they fully played into the fact Poe tore his ACL.
Yeah. So but like I just, I don't want to give him credit for that. Like that's not him. That's the team surrounding him. Like I don't know.
But like it shows the embrace, like how much they truly embrace Poe.
I think it shows that they just figured they could get social engagement out of a crappy situation. I don't know. I think it's funny. I engage with it. I just don't think it speaks too highly of Poe.
I genuinely also think he looks like he has a great time at games. I like the way he looks. I would love a little bit more shading, but the name is a huge seller for me. Huge.
I would have rather had Edgar, honestly. I think Edgar's a great name for a Raven. Not like draft Edgar. I think I'd rather have Edgar be the full time. Is what I mean.
Gotcha.
All right. So I'm gonna stick to my board here.
Okay.
I think this might be a little too early, but I'm gonna go for it, and I'm going to take a man whose name I did not know until this afternoon, or really like an hour ago, and that's Steely McBeam.
Steely McBeam
from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, I'll be honest. He's up here because of the name. I mean, as a mascot, he looks like Giga Chad, which is really funny. Because he's described as like a 60s, 70s, just blue collar worker. He carries around like a steel beam, obviously not a real steel beam, but like a fake steel beam. And that's sick. His colors are cool. Yeah, he's a humanoid, which I don't love. I think it's a little too early for the humanoid aspect. I think he might be the only humanoid on my list, actually. But Steely McBeam is just like a Bodie McBoatface level of name. And I love it. I can't get over it. I haven't stopped thinking about it since I found out that he was a real thing. So yeah, all in on Steely McBeam. I'm very happy right now. I have the top 3 on my board right now. So my GM is very happy with me. I guess I am the GM. Whatever.
I truly love Steely. They gave him the scruff and everything.
Yeah.
They gave him the scruff.
The detail is good. The detail is good.
All right. I'm looking at my board. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers, Sir Purr.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I think I'm going with Sir Purr. He's like kitschy and, kind of campy. I love his blue eyes. He also kind of looks like he was made, like he's made with a lot of love.
Yeah.
And like they fully embrace like the cat. Like he's not like a.
I was gonna say I don't think he
he's
looks like a panther. He looks like
he's a cat. He looks like a house cat, which is like the kitschy and campy part of it. It's just a house cat. It's just a chill guy.
I see. It has to be like 50% of the reason that I like him has to be because of Robbie Chosen Anderson. Because of that video where he's sitting next to DJ Moore on the bench. She's like, "What's that bear doing?" DJ Moore's like, "What are you talking about? The bear?" And he's like, "It's Sir Purr." bro. And Robbie's just like, you call him that? And it's like, what? So you just be like, what's up, Sir Purr? It's like, that's incredible.
That was
I love
great.
that. That's a
Forgot
great piece
about
of
that
lore.
video.
Oh, that's the first thing I
Yeah.
think of when I think of Sir
Forgot
Purr. I
about that
think
video.
he is a solid mascot that has gotten greatly propped up by that lore, and
It's
I'm
part of his
totally on
lore.
board with
Yeah,
it.
it's
I'm on
part of
board
his
with
lore
it.
now. Yeah.
It reminds me actually a lot of the Denver Broncos, who I'm not going to pick, but their real life mascot, the actual horse that they have. There's a video of or no, it's not. It wasn't with the Broncos. It was with the Chiefs. They have that. They would have that horse. They would have a horse like do laps around before the game or something. And Eric Berry, former safety, I believe it's him, was caught on tape. He's like terrified of horses. So he went through this whole thing where like they got him to like this was on like a news thing on like NFL Network or something where he had his own private thing where he could like go up and touch the horse. He like cowers
like
away from
exposure
him.
therapy.
Yeah, no, he would like cower away from him on the sidelines when they're doing the like. I'll have to find the clip and like tweet it or send it to you or something. But I remember watching that and I just fell in love with a very famous line between me and my friends. But Eric Berry says like, "Damn horse, I trusted you." And so I don't even remember the context, but that horse broke his trust. So that's
I've
what I
never
always think
seen
of.
that.
I love that. One of my favorite like little random NFL Network thingies.
Yeah, never seen that.
But yeah, really good pick. He was on my list. Not quite up next, but a good list. Good pick. I'm gonna stick to my board. I'm picking Mr. TD, the Dolphins mascot. This was another one that I had never really seen, but once I saw him, I was like, oh my God, what an incredible looking creature. Like, just like kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
A little unhinged. Definitely a dolphin. Like, just doesn't have fingers. Like, they went the full, like, he's got, like, he reminds me of, like, that shark from the Katy Perry halftime show a little bit, except he's a dolphin. The old ones do freak me out a little bit. If you ever look at like the old versions, there's a really fat one that scares me. But yeah, I'm a big fan of TD. I couldn't tell you much about what he does on the sideline, but I just think looking at him and just a wide open like mouth with no teeth, it's just very entertaining. It's very funny, and I really like him. So I'm happy to get TD from the Dolphins.
He reminds me a lot of like something I would see in like Toy Story. Where they would like piece his head on a different body.
Yeah.
Totally
he like came from like a squeaky toy or something.
Yeah, exactly. And they like took the head and put it on like a doll's body.
No,
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Good call.
All right, I think
your last pick.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We went that fast?
We did.
Gosh. Do I go with two birds? I can go with two birds.
You don't even
There's really only two birds that I love. I don't know if I just go unhinged or if I take my bird, my safe pick.
You can take the Giants mascot.
Ah, so I have no pick then.
Yep.
Nice. All right, let's just go with it. Let's go with Blitz from the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I'm looking a picture up of him again because I want to make sure what I'm trying to say is right. So he has like a very odd proportioned body. I'm not body shaming Mr. Blitz. Please don't get me confused. Mr. Blitz has like a really big head that, good for him, he probably knows a lot, but on his body, it's very oddly proportional, which kind of like catches you off guard. And then his face is like scary in a good way, like in an intimidating way. He still has plenty of bright colors, even like as a bird, like he looks like a colorful bird. And I know he has a fun time. I've seen the videos of him doing fun things on the sidelines. So I'm going with Blitz. And also he's like a big part of like the Seahawks culture. But I just like his head. His wings are pretty sick too.
His wings are nice. I don't love that he just like wears a football uniform, but with random pieces thrown onto it. Like, he's straight up. He's just wearing he's wearing like pads and stuff and like the pants, like the tight pants. But then he just has massive feet. But he wears gloves for hands, which makes them really small. I don't like that his hands are that much smaller than his feet. Freaks me out a little bit. Definitely an intimidating head. If we were just ranking mascot heads, I'd put him higher. But yeah, I don't love the overall vibe of him.
Yeah.
So I will say this last one's been eating away at me. But I think I'm going to once again stick to my board. And I'm just gonna take who I think it's got to be fun-loving, man. I think that he's really sweet looking. He's the kind of mascot, I think I've got a good mix of like unhinged, a little terrifying, guys that'll beat you with a steel beam. I'm taking Billy the Buffalo. He's just a 7 foot tall, really happy looking buffalo. He looks like something out of a Pixar movie.
That's my issue with him.
Baby? Maybe a Beanie
That's my
Baby?
issue with him.
He looks so happy.
No, to me it looks like he has a fake smile on and he looks so sad behind there.
No, that's not a fake smile for Billy Buffalo.
No, Billy looks like he is really considering like, what did I do with my life?
No, I love Billy Buffalo. He makes me happy. He makes me want to be a better person.
I don't.
Yeah, but any honorable mentions you want to throw out?
I like the old Billy the Buffalo. He's better. The new one is
I like the new
too
Billy
cartoony. The old one is better. He had like a nice goatee.
No.
Honorable mentions. Yeah, I'll give you 2 ones. I do like the Texans. His name's Toro. He like looks super sweet, but still cool, like in a way that I would trust him to hold my drink at a bar. And I just want to shout out
Billy Buffalo to watch my dog for a weekend.
Okay, he would do that.
Yeah,
but Billy Buffalo has no idea what he's doing. Billy Buffalo is like testing Billy Buffalo is like testing things out.
Yeah, and
he doesn't know what his dream is, but he feels stuck here. So he's gonna like watch your dog and be like, should I become a vet? Should I open up a dog sitting business? Should I open up a groomer? He's that kind of guy.
I trust Billy Buffalo.
Nah, Billy Buffalo doesn't know what he's doing with his life. I would trust Toro to watch my drink at a bar. And I'm also just gonna shout out, I don't even know if it's an honorable mention, I just want to mention it myself, that Major Tuddy gives off major, like he's like definitely 12.
Yeah,
definitely,
no, actually,
like
yeah. So he was one of my. I actually debated him with my last pick. I won't lie.
He's on in my number, like my rankings. He's number 10 on mine. So
yeah, he's number 10 for mine too. But I did. Yeah. I had him too low. I think, to be honest. I think
he just doesn't belong there. Like he's too young to be there. He's in the spotlight way too early.
Yeah. I mean, it fits with just the entire Commanders organization.
It does. 100%.
I love his hat.
Yes.
Love that he's just got a hat and that he's a pig.
And that his nose is so big compared to his little hat on his head.
He's a well-proportioned pig, to be honest.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Also, shout out to Jackson DeVille, who I do believe is just like the epitome of Jacksonville in a 100%. Mascot. He's unhinged. He doesn't really know what's happening ever. He's definitely on multiple drugs at all times.
Yeah.
He was next up on my list. He's just all over the place, man. He is Jacksonville incarnate. So, yeah, I did debate Jackson DeVille pretty hardly there with my fifth pick, but overall, I will give us the final teams before we move on. Ashley, you had T-Rack, Captain Fear, Poe, Sir Purr, and Blitz, and then I had Blue, Swoop, Steely McBeam, TD from the Dolphins, and Billy Buffalo.
Okay.
So, yeah,
dig it.
I think I won.
Who do you think if our mascots were real, whose team would win?
Well, that's a completely different draft.
I know, but I'm just curious. Like, say all of a sudden this came to be true life, who would win?
I think that Swoop and Blitz have good advantages in the fact that they are probably the most athletic players on their team.
100%. Total wide receiver, guys.
Yeah. I think Steely McBeam might be a difference maker because that dude, like...
Dude, he might, and I think the issue is that my guy's gonna be drunk.
Yeah, Captain Fear.
Yeah, Captain Fear's gonna be hammered.
I think Steely McBeam might be hammered, but it doesn't matter because he was probably hammered.
Steely McBeam's the guy that could drink like a 30 rack and he'd be totally cool, but like Captain Fear drinks like 6 bottles of rum. He doesn't know when to stop the rum, and he's just like sloshed on my team. Like I try and send him out, and he doesn't even know his name.
Poe is injury prone. And Sir Purr, I don't
he is the mascot of my team.
Yeah, like he's a mascot of your team. Like I think my team sweeps easy right there if we're playing a game of football. I know we can draft for that. Like I don't think Blue is overly helpful.
No.
But
No.
I do think Billy Buffalo is like 7 feet tall. That really helps.
Yeah.
He's just a big body. Steely McBeam
Blue's
might
your
be able to carry
gadget
it by
guy.
himself.
Blue's your gadget guy, 100%.
No, I'd
He
say
can do some weird
TD
shit.
is my gadget guy. The dolphin? Are you
Okay.
kidding me? Like he's just
Fair.
he's going like, man, he's the gadget guy. He's got speed.
Fair.
Yeah, no, all about that.
They're also ruthless. Dolphins are ruthless. If you
I
actually
know.
know about dolphins, I
I
think
know,
we've had
they're
this
very ruthless.
conversation on here before.
We probably have.
Yeah.
All right, take us to an ad read.
Okay. Just guys, stay tuned with us. We're gonna give you a message from our sponsors who make us ranking stupid things possible. All right, and we're back to rank our next silly football tangentially related thing, in which Duncan is gonna have the first pick in our draft of football movies.
Yeah. So I
You
hate
don't sound
this.
thrilled. I
This terrified me. I feel like I'm gonna get made fun of. I straight up have just not seen some classics on here, so I feel like there are going, and I feel like you haven't either. So
No,
there are going to be some people that get very angry at some of our picks and the lack of picks of certain movies. But I'm gonna do my best not to be. I'm gonna be true to myself here. I'm not gonna pick a movie that I haven't seen because that would be unfair and unsportsmanlike. But with the number one overall pick, I'm picking
consensus, right? Come on. The consensus number one overall pick. It has to be.
Oh, I don't know if it is. Now I'm terrified because I think I know what the consensus is, and I don't think it's mine.
Okay, go.
I'm taking Invincible.
Wow.
It's a homer pick.
Okay.
It's a homer pick, but look, it's a great movie. Mark Wahlberg is awesome in it, and it's a true story. It got us a lot of really great moments, like the really fat dude who yells about how he was first team varsity whatever in high school, and just an awesome feel good movie.
It is.
It's sick. It's very cool. So and it's very close to home. So I'm hoping I am the next 30-year-old to make it in the NFL. So
I believe in you.
Yeah,
you can do it.
Really great movie. Really pulls on the heartstrings. So it sounds like you're getting the consensus.
The steal of the century. I'm walking away with Rudy here.
Yeah.
I'm walking away with Rudy here.
I had it too.
What a steal. Rudy is the top of the top. It's the best football movie. I mean, the scene with the jerseys, gets you every time. It gets you every time where they all walk in one by one with the jerseys. The conversation he has on the bench. Dude, Rudy is the best. I love Rudy. What was your epiphany?
I remember another movie that I'm putting at the end of my list. In case I need it.
So I walk away with a steal. I'm very happy to walk away with Rudy. My draft room is chanting right now.
I knew what I was giving up when
we were talking about draft slots. I was nervous to give up the one here. Like I was nervous to say that I wanted.
I'll be honest. I don't know why I pushed so hard for it because I knew that was going to happen. But there we go. No, and I'm fine with that because I wouldn't be. Look, I got to be true to myself. I got to be true to my draft board, and that means with my next pick, I am taking Remember the Titans. Awesome movie, just a really great movie. No matter how many times I watch it, still brings the tears. So many great scenes. Ryan Gosling was an absolute liability at cornerback. Really just not good. But really just so many good parts of that movie, man. Obviously some tear jerkers too. A lot of really sad moments. A lot of really real moments. Like it's the kind of movie you watch as a kid and like you learn something from that, you know?
Sunshine.
It's just a great movie. It's just a great movie.
It really is.
I love it. I'll never get tired of watching that movie. And I've definitely seen it more times than Rudy. So I don't have a problem with getting it with my second pick. Oh, I need to be writing this down. Whoops.
I love that pick. That was my second overall. So we're forced to adjust a little bit, but we are going with one that I feel slightly guilty picking now, considering everything that came out, but still a great movie. We're just going to call it fiction now instead of like a biography.
I mean, you can just call it based on a true story.
Based on a true story, adapted from a true story.
That's probably better,
I'm going with The Blind Side.
Yeah.
Just impeccable, dude. The movie is fantastic. when they go to Big and Tall, love that scene. Sandra Bullock in that with the accent and the hair.
Fantastic.
Great. And well, I would love to say the story of Michael Orr, but apparently it was all fake. So we're just gonna say it was just good vibes. I love SJ. He's super cool. The car accident scene. Oh, that, like when I watched it the first time. I love the
That still gets me.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure that began a lifelong crush on Lily Collins for me. So
probably.
Yep. Great movie. That was next on my list.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I wish I had more bad things to say about that pick.
I know.
But so far you're killing it.
Thank you.
That was one of my favorite movies growing up. I could watch.
Yep.
I watched that thing. I watched it in theaters maybe 3 or 4 times, and I would watch it on repeat at home. I loved that movie. I loved Michael Orr. I made a heartwarming Facebook post when he won a Super Bowl because I was so touched by that goddamn movie. Because he won with the Ravens back in the Joe Flacco Super Bowl. Awesome. It's a shame that so much has come out about it recently. That it's tainted it in a lot of ways. But I'm
glad he gets to tell his story too. Like, I'm glad it's not his legacy. Like
exactly.
There was a white savior complex movie made that wasn't really fully true.
Yeah,
you know?
And I think a lot of the movie, you can just look at it as a movie then. And if it's a feel good movie, great. Like there's nothing wrong with that. This brings me to a very
a crossroads.
It's a crossroads for sure, because I don't think this is going to be a popular pick. I know there's a lot of people screaming right now about a couple movies that I'm just not going to pick because I haven't seen them. But I am going to stick to my board. I'm going to stay true to myself once again, and I'm taking Draft Day.
Okay.
I love Draft Day. Every year when the draft comes around, there is always the great debate on Twitter, in the fantasy Twitter spaces, about Draft Day being a good or bad movie. No, of course it's not realistic. Of course the moves that he's making don't make any sense and would definitely get him fired. I don't care. Yeah. It's awesome. It is so sick to watch him take an off-ball linebacker with the number 1 overall pick, who, by the way, is Chadwick Boseman, because I love Chadwick Boseman. And then you know what he does? Instead of taking a quarterback and instead depending on a aging, injured quarterback, he takes a running back. That is the very thing that I've complained about on this podcast so many times, and I don't care because the way he did it was so cool, and it's awesome. And there's a weird side plot about how he is banging his secretary and getting her pregnant. That's a little uncomfortable. Not really sure why it's there. You didn't really need it there. So many good cameos.
The birthday party.
Oh my God, the birthday
party.
You got the playbook with the money. With the money, that was was that real, or was that Jamarcus Russell, or was that Bo Callahan? Yeah, no, that was Oh yeah, that was this movie. Yeah. Sorry. Well,
You're confusing me.
Yeah, well, Jamarcus Russell did something like he never watched his tape or something. I don't know why I just got that confused, but the money in the back of the playbook. It's got Clark Kent in it. Smallville's Superman is the quarterback that's already on the team, whose name I forget. Arian Foster plays the running back. It's just so sick, man. It's a great movie. I love it. It's fiction. It's pure fiction, and I love it. It's an awesome movie. I don't care if it's not realistic. I'm taking Draft Day, and I'm thrilled about it.
It's fair. I like Kevin Costner a lot, and I do like the movie, but it's like a good for one day movie. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that that's it for me. So it's on my list.
I watch it every draft season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You watch it once. It's not a movie like the ones we mentioned already. I think are ones that I would comfortably rewatch very often. That movie is one that
Draft Day all the time.
I couldn't. It's like a once a year occasion. Like I get one draft day as a treat.
Never gets old.
All right.
All the stupid camera things that they do.
Yeah.
Cinema.
Peak cinema. All right. So I'm on pick what?
This is your third pick.
Third?
You have Jesus Rudy. Christ. You have The Blind Side. This is the 6th overall pick.
Okay. All right. So third pick. I'm actually going to go to here, and I don't know which way I want to go. I'm going to go with We Are Marshall. It's really such a good story. And it's one of those movies that gets you like on an emotional roller coaster of similar to Remember the Titans, of this really real emotion, raw, and this really feel-good story out of a bad situation. It's a great movie, and it's like nostalgic. I feel like it's one of those older movies that I love to go back and watch.
Yeah, no, it's a good pick. It's been a very long time since I've seen We Are Marshall, so it's on my list, but I had it farther down just to be fair to myself. But a very good movie. Obviously, Matthew McConaughey is great. With my next pick, this is a movie that I think is very good, and I probably should give it more credit, but it's tough because I think it is constantly overshadowed by maybe the greatest football TV show of all time, maybe the greatest sports TV show of all time, and that is Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights.
An absolutely incredible TV show.
Yeah.
It never gets old watching it. I love that TV show. I actually watched the TV show before I saw the movie. And when my dad found out I was watching the TV show, he bought the DVD and brought it home, and we watched the movie together. So that's a nice little memory. But truly a great movie. Obviously, it's based on the book that is based on the true story that the show eventually adapts into whatever. But yeah, just a great movie, a really cool story. And again, it set the stage for one of the best sports TV shows of all time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to be upset about that falling to me with, that was my fourth pick. So my second to last pick.
Maybe I'll rewatch that. I was talking about needing a show to watch. Maybe I'll rewatch Friday Night Lights again.
It's a good show.
I haven't seen it. Like I've watched it all the way through probably twice, but I haven't seen it in a long time. That was like a high school obsession is when I like completely binged that often. So maybe I'll rewatch that.
Clear Eyes, Full Hearts.
Can't lose. All right. I have two left, and there's two I'm trying to figure out.
You do have two left.
All right, I am actually going to go with a pick that's more close to me, that's going to be off the beaten path and wouldn't change your order, which is probably not the smartest thing to do, but this is probably where it falls in my rankings anyway. I'm going with Will Smith's Concussion. It's the story of the doctor who found CTE and put his like life on the line to try and get it out there and inform players of what they were facing. And it's a true story. Will Smith does an incredible job as the doctor. And they tell some real stories about guys in the NFL, the first few guys in the NFL who had symptoms that were consistent with CTE and the story behind that. And my favorite line from it, and I'll always remember it, is when the doctor goes to like conferences and tries to fight against the NFL. And somebody says, you're trying to fight with an organization that owns a day of the week that used to be God's day, which is Sunday. And that line has stuck with me so long since I've seen that movie. And that movie is truly a really, really good movie.
No, I've never seen it. I did, as I was kind of doing research, I did see it pop up, and I knew you would take that.
Yeah.
If I had seen it, I'm sure it would be on my list. It's just one of those movies that I know it's kind of on my list, and I need to see it at some point. Will Smith is a fantastic actor. Truly just a generational talent. Big Will Smith guy. Probably shouldn't have slapped Chris Rock, though.
Probably not.
Yeah. Anyway, so that brings us down to our last picks. So I have one more pick, and you have one more pick. And I am torn. There are a lot of different directions that I could go with this last pick.
You can go with a flyer if you want.
I have a really weird one. I don't really think it counts, if we're being honest. I'm going to mention it because I don't think it's on your list.
Okay.
And if it is, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to take it. But I was considering Blue Mountain State, The Rise of Badland. Was that on your list?
It's not on my list, but I know I've seen the movie.
Yeah. There's little to no football in it. They do not play down a football. To be fair,
they barely with Blue Mountain State.
You don't see them play any football until the finale. But I just rewatched the series and the movie, so it's top of mind. All-time great series. Love that show. Really fun show. Really fun movie. Not going to take it. I'm going to take a comedy, though. I'm going to take The Longest Yard, the 2005 Adam Sandler version. Just a good movie. We were talking a bit about Adam Sandler films. Neither of us, I think, are as into when he just plays dumb, stupid boy. similar to another movie that might be on some people's lists.
Yeah.
But I like The Longest Yard. He shows some character development in the way that he, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie, but in the way that he chooses not to throw the game. And, it's obviously very funny. It's Adam Sandler. But, it's a remake of a classic starring Burt Reynolds. And, so I'm going to take The Longest Yard.
All right. So I'll give you my honorable mention first because it's really up there and it probably should go here. But if I'm going with my heart, it's not. And that would be The Real Longest Yard. But I'm going to go with what's in my heart. And I'm going to say...
You're going to do it, aren't you?
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going with The Game Plan with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Madison Pettis.
Yeah. That's a Disney.
What a story. What a story.
I can't even lie.
I watched that recently.
I did too, actually. Within the past 2 years, I've watched it.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
I made fun of you, but honestly, like it's a great movie. Number one on the field, number one in your heart. Like, I remember that. It clearly made an impact. Like I want to say that was the introduction to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for probably a lot of people our age.
Yeah. It was a Disney movie. So, I mean, a lot of our age, that's like probably when it came out.
Yeah. Madison Pettis obviously was from, what was she in? She was in a show and I don't remember.
Oh my God. What was she in? Hold on.
But either way.
Was in, oh my God. I got to find her all that. She's all that. God, I don't know. We're going to have to find it later.
But great movie. Fantastic movie. I can't be mad with the last pick. I will say that I had one other far shout on my list, and that was Air Bud Golden Receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Love me a good Air Bud movie.
Fair.
Love me a good. And you're telling me that the dog can now play football?
Dude.
And also, you're switching out retriever for receiver. It's a smash hit.
They're always thinking.
And any Air Bud movie after the first one is less depressing because you don't have to deal with learning how he got abandoned, and that makes me sad. I can't watch it now as an adult because.
And now you just get to see him live his full life.
Yeah, and now he's just playing football.
Full life.
And it's like, I don't know how do you tackle it? How do you tackle a dog? I don't know. It's just genius. I don't know why. First of all, I don't know how it's allowed. Second of all, I don't know how they do it.
They could totally juke you out.
Yeah, Air Bud Golden Receiver. It's incredible.
Dig it.
So, that's an honorable mention for me that I wanted to bring up.
Okay, I'm gonna do one more honorable mention really quickly. Well, you had alluded to it. Waterboy is like good. It's up there. It's still all on the list, but it's not that high up there for me. Again, I'm not super into those Adam Sandler comedies. Like I love Happy Gilmore. I'm not a big Billy Madison person, so that's just it's a hit or a miss for me with when I'm watching it. But my real honorable mention is, I really urge everyone to watch it. It's a really good story. Is Safety. It's a Disney movie about on my list. Yep, the Clemson safety, Ray McRathleby. He is awesome. The story is awesome. I watched it on a whim. I was like, this has to be just a Disney made up movie, right? And then I found out what it really was about and everything, and it was such a good movie.
Corey in the House. That's what she was on.
Okay.
That was actually after the Game Plan, though, which I didn't realize.
Corey in the House.
Yeah, 2007. Same year. Yeah. It's a party every week, baby. Great show. No, I was thinking about Safety as well.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. I enjoyed that.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Okay. All right. We have one last thing to draft/rank. But before we do that, we'd love if you could stick around to listen to a brief word from the people who make this show possible. All right, and we're back. And we'll give you one last ranking, which has a little bit more to do with the game of football itself. Duncan and I will be drafting quarterbacks that we would want for one game if we were coach/GM/owner. If we were the person behind a football team, who would be the quarterback we take to have in a one game must-win scenario?
Yeah, we can build whatever team we want around them, obviously.
Yep. Yep. So I start out going back, and it's pretty obvious. I'm just going with Patrick Mahomes here.
Why?
It's Patrick Mahomes, dude.
Yeah, no, I
don't really have to say anything other than that.
Not a ton more to say there.
Not much else to say on that one.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to take the quarterback with the most game-winning drives in the past 2 years.
Okay.
With 25. That's a fun
Okay.
fact. Patrick Mahomes has 24. Do you know who that is?
Oh. Every time you ask
Jalen
me this question, it's
Jalen Hurts.
usually the Eagles.
It's
So,
normally the Eagles, yeah.
yep.
Yeah, it's Jalen Hurts. I debated with that one a lot, actually, because it is a homer pick, obviously.
Yeah.
But also, I think the answer is probably different if it's a season long. I probably would not have Patrick Mahomes, or I would not have Jalen Hurts here. But we're assuming health, obviously. I think that he gets dinged a little bit throughout the season, and that might hurt him. But we saw him outplay Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. We saw him put up one of the greatest statistical performances in the Super Bowl that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
He also has 25 game-winning drives in the last 2 years. He's not flummoxed by any singular moment ever, good or bad, and it's kind of horrifying. He has the legs, he has the arm, he has the accuracy, and he has the QB sneak. He can bench.
Yeah.
He can bench 600 pounds or whatever it is. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts specifically because we're talking about a single game here, and that did play into it pretty heavily for me. So, yeah, I'm going Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. So this one I may get a little bit of flack for.
You're taking Joe Flacco?
Yes. Oh
Wow.
my God, how'd you know? No, I actually think I'm going to take Lamar Jackson here over someone else. I prefer, again, injury history is different. If I was looking at season long or taking over his contract, it would be a different story. But the use of his legs, I mean, the rushing games he has, he's made serious improvements. Obviously, he was a great passer. He had a little bit of a down period there. He's made serious improvements as a passer. I think he's really someone that's hard to game plan for. And if I had to take someone to kind of just in a must win, I want to confuse my opponent. I want to do everything in my power to make my team versatile. I'm going with Lamar Jackson. And I trust him. Like I would trust him with the game in his hands.
Yeah, I had him number 4 on my list. I debated him really hard with number 3, who I'm going to take right now, and that's Joe Burrow. I'm taking him at number 3 overall. I think when I'm looking at this list in particular, the things that are sticking out to me are I've just seen him in big moments. I've seen him in big moments before, and yeah, he lost the Super Bowl, so did Jalen Hurts. But he performed. He performed really well. He that stretch that he had that season in the playoffs was awesome.
Yeah.
And he's had a lot of really great performances in the postseason. And he's one of the best passers in the NFL for sure. So yeah, I'm not upset that Joe Burrow fell to me. He does lack I think there is a special quality to Lamar Jackson in terms of what he can do with the ball in his hands that very few other people can do. I just get a little scared because we haven't seen it translate yet into anything that matters.
Okay, so that leads me into my pick. Leads me into my pick too, which would be Josh Allen. And it's exactly what you said, but just for a different guy. I mean, he has shown up on big stages, but he hasn't walked away with the trophy. And that's really a huge part of it. Because if he did, I may have him higher than this, but he hasn't. And I still think that's in him. I know he didn't have the best year last year, but I also attribute a lot of that to offensive struggles in total, like with the transition after Ken Dorsey was fired, with Ken Dorsey there, and staff turnover over the last couple of years. But he's still like that guy. He still has that in him, and I would still expect that if I was in this position that I would take, like genuinely, if I was in this position, all those quarterbacks were gone and I had one to take, and this was the board that I had, it would be him. I can't make an argument against that at this level. I do wish it has translated into something, but it hasn't yet, which is what slips him a little bit lower.
Yeah, he was next on my list. I kind of have, I kind of wish he fell in one more spot because, I think the next one I'm taking purely on if he didn't play for the Chargers, maybe this would go better.
Okay.
And that's Justin Herbert. The talent's there. The arm talent is incredible. I've seen him make some just mind-boggling throws. I've seen him play through, some nagging injuries. He is an incredible talent. It hasn't done anything for his team. Sorry about that.
You tried to fight that
but
one.
Yeah, it was not working. I lost. But yeah, I'm going to take Justin Herbert because I know the talent's there, and I'm hoping that there is just something about he's playing for my team and not the Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
And I'm just going to bet on his incredible talent and my ability to put a team around him to highlight that, I guess.
Okay. So mine's a little similar here in the terms of I'm betting on the talent, even though I don't have too much to show for it because I haven't seen him in a huge game. But I'm actually probably going with CJ Stroud here right now. And I know it's a little bit of a reach, but I think I'm taking him up here on talent alone because I think his talent can get him quite far with a program that's not still in the rebuilding stages, because while the Texans did what they did, they're still in the rebuilding stages. They still have plenty of things to adapt and change, and they're learning with CJ Stroud. But that kid has raw, pure talent, and I want it.
Yeah, no, I think it's a very fine pick. I don't have any. I love CJ Stroud, so I can't really take offense to that at all. And you leave me with a very tough choice because I have a couple guys here that I don't know how to decide between, because they all have factors that make it a tough choice. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say Jordan Love.
Ah, dude!
I'm gonna take Jordan Love.
Wow.
That
was my next guy.
Everything I saw from him last year told me he's legit. He's a real guy. He's a real quarterback in the NFL. And he showed it. He showed it consistently week in and week out. I just think the talent's there. I don't know what they're doing down in Green Bay. The ability to churn out these franchise quarterbacks, but I do think Jordan Love has proved himself to be that. At this point in the draft, obviously, if there were proven guys still here that we didn't have red flags or worries about, they would have been taken already. Everyone here is going to have some type of downside, whether that be they're young and inexperienced or they just haven't put it all together yet, whatever that is. But I'm happy to take Jordan Love because I think his talent is going to show out. I mean, he was able to do what he did last year with not a bad wide receiver core, but it was the youngest offense in the league, I want to say.
Yep.
So that's pretty incredible. And I'm willing to continue to bet on his talent in this exercise.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, God.
I'm
stuck.
We are both down to our last pick.
I'm stuck. You made your last pick, right?
No.
Or no, you get the last pick.
Crap. Yes. You had the first pick.
All right. I'm stuck here before I say my names. I'm stuck here between someone who has done it before, proves they can, and I think might still have a little bit left in the tank, and someone who I think has so much potential but hasn't shown it yet.
Know who that one is. Daniel Jones.
That's it. That's the pick.
Mm.
No, I think I might just go here with someone that's done it before, is kind of just a game manager, but I feel comfortable if I put a team around him that I could still have success, and I think I'm just going to take Matt Stafford.
Oh, he's not a game manager. Get out of here. He's one of the best passers in NFL history.
He is, but I feel like lately he has been more of I feel like he has transitioned more to that. He's a great passer, but I do think so.
No, that is an insult to Matt Stafford. No, I will not hear it.
I'm not meaning totally. If he gets okay, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it more as he can fall into a game manager role.
Did you see some of his passes to Puka Nacua last year?
I did.
They look like.
I also do think I do think he's getting older. He's getting hurt.
Obviously,
and
yeah.
that's what I'm saying is if he's I'm taking a guy with injury risk that in a one game must win scenario, it's not his day. I'm still comfortable with him being there because I know he's a good game manager. Is more so how I meant it to say it.
Yeah, I think that's much better.
That's how I meant to say it. I don't
You're
mean he's like
he has
just
a high.
a
You're
game
saying
manager.
he has a high
Like,
floor.
yes. Okay. So that's more so what I'm going for. Is like
Yeah.
he can play, but if it's just his back really hurts that day and I'm stuck because I picked him now and the game is in a month, then I know he could still serve me well.
All right, with the last pick, I'm curious. I'm definitely not going to take whoever it is. Who is the person that you said was unproven? Younger.
Tua.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Are you gonna take him?
No, not Tua.
Okay.
I know I'm not taking Tua. I'm trying to convince myself to take who I have next on my list, and unfortunately I think I'm going to.
Okay.
And we're saying it's one game. I'm just gonna hope for two things.
Okay.
One, the Kennedy Jr. doesn't have an event the same day.
Sniper on the roof. Okay.
And two, I'm gonna hope that we are not in MetLife Stadium because I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. He's one of the most talented quarterbacks we've ever seen in NFL history. Obviously, the big question mark here is his health, his desire to play football, his
if
mental
he's on a
stability.
bad ayahuasca trip.
So I am just going to bank on the fact that
Hat-Man
this
is in the corner.
I'm going to bank that this is a one game. I'm going to assume that he's going to show up.
Just put him in the dark room beforehand.
Yep. But if he shows up,
the fact that we can make this many comments.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that there's that many things to talk about, unfortunately. But yeah, I actually, so my final three that I was deciding between were Jordan Love, Matthew Stafford, and Aaron Rodgers. So yeah.
I had Jared Goff close to here.
Neither of us mentioned someone that I think a lot of people are going to be upset that we did not mention.
And who's that?
Dak Prescott.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's you and I. Would you expect us to pick Dak Prescott? Also, he's not good, so.
Yeah, he can put up stats, but I don't care.
He's great for your fantasy team. He's not great for my must-win.
He's great for the regular season.
There's a gun to my head. Someone is going to kill me if this game does not. If my team does not win this game, I am not ever considering Dak Prescott. Never, ever.
No.
Never, ever.
No.
I would sooner actually have them kill me than have to take him. Genuinely,
gun to my head.
I'm getting shot.
No, yeah. Like, is he more talented than some of these guys? Like, yeah, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, almost definitely. It doesn't matter, clearly.
No.
So
he's been given every tool on those stages, and just can't do it. You're not that guy.
In the most embarrassing fashion.
I don't know what to say. We've had this conversation for 3 years now. That at some point, but I mean, you and I have been doing this 3 years. So you and I have had this conversation for literally 3 years about like he just doesn't have it. There's this it factor, and he does not have it. And in a game where everything is on the line, maybe there's a gun to my head, and I don't want a guy who doesn't have it. Like, I would rather take a Jared Goff, who I think has that oomph, and I think has that just one-off like it factor. He can show up sometimes, and it's lights out. And I genuinely don't know that Dak Prescott has ever done that on a stage. That this would merit.
Not really where it mattered. I mean,
no, never.
Yeah, that Packers game was, whoo, baby, incredible.
Yeah, well, those are our things in a rank, in a list, in a draft. This was fun.
I agree.
Great time. Well, Michael Duncan, tell us where we can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at mpduncan75, or you can find me lamenting the Celtics winning a NBA championship.
Bunch of my friends went to the parade.
What?
Bunch of my friends went to the parade.
Oh, they were the 7 people that showed up? That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. They were.
I hate the city of Boston. Just gonna throw that out there.
So do I.
It's a shitty sports
Talking to the wrong person.
I don't care. I'm talking to the right person. So there we go. I guess that's where you can find me.
Okay. You can find me on Twitter at Ashley_Marie with 2 A's in Ashley. You can find me, Duncan, and the entire Undroppables crew on our Discord channels, which you can gain access to by becoming a patron at patreon.com/theundroppables. You can find all of our content at theundroppables.com. You can find me and Duncan here live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday nights. We are back from our summer break. We have lots to discuss, a whole content list of things we're going to talk to you about. So thank you for being with us through our break. We hope you had a wonderful time during then, and we're going to get back into some real hard analysis and look at the upcoming season. That's quickly. I think Scott Hansen said 11 Sundays.
I have no idea.
I think Scott Hansen tweeted out that it was 11 Sundays. I'm so excited to see Scott Hansen. The Olympics come on soon, and Scott Hansen's on the Olympics. He has a red zone for the Olympics.
Oh.
Diving.
Oh yeah, I forgot they were doing that actually.
No, he's doing the the red zone, the Olympics red zone.
Obviously, I was joking.
That's like two very niche interests. I mean, they're not very niche, but two of my interests.
At all, actually.
Red zone
and
the Olympics. Niche was the complete wrong word.
That was one of the most embarrassing things you've ever said on the podcast.
It was. Because I didn't mean for it to be there's a word I'm looking for.
I'm different. I like the red.
No, that's not how I meant it.
The Olympics.
Yeah. No, I meant it as like when the Olympics come on, that's like my sole focus. They're all day, every day. It's the Olympics on the phone, on the TV, on everything. I freaking love the Olympics. And I love Scott Hansen in Red Zone. So I didn't mean it as niche. I meant it as like serious interests of mine. So it's made worlds colliding.
Right.
Anyway, we'll end on that note. Perfect. Great. Thank you very much. We hope to see you here live next Wednesday, again at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcasts. Download, listen, subscribe, leave a comment. Do whatever. All of those things. We hope to see you here next week. Have a great week.
Go Birds.
Bye.